not just heart, kidney, and brain. Does endothelin have a role in hair follicle regression?
So we identified that endothelin signaling plays an important role in the regression phase of the hair growth cycle, where endothelin regulates the contraction of smooth muscle cells that surround the hair follicle. And this contraction is important for the regression of the hair shaft and the death of the epithelial cells that need to die, so that the specialized cells, the niche cells, can get to the stem cells again. So during normal hair growth, hair is produced for a long time and for years, and then there's the regression phase, the rest phase, and then new regeneration from the stem cells. So specifically, endothelin gets upregulated in the progenitors that regulates this regression phase. And how we discovered it really was that we initially discovered actually the smooth muscle, that the cells that surround the hair follicle haven't been known for a long time what they do. And so we discovered that these so-called dermal sheath cells are a functional smooth muscle that contracts. To figure out how contraction is regulated, we screened many genes in the dermal sheath cells and for any smooth muscle contraction pathways, and what we identified is that it's exactly only endothelin receptors are expressed, and that's how that got us into studying the endothelin signaling pathway in this context. So now a question of obviously is whether this can have an impact on hair loss treatments, and so we do not know yet the link of the regression phase of the hair growth cycle to actual hair loss and hair loss diseases. So in one common form of hair loss that's called androgenetic alopecia, the hairs miniaturize during the hair growth cycle. They get stuck in the growth phase with fewer and fewer cells, or in the resting phase. But we do not yet know whether endothelin signaling plays a role in this miniaturization process in hair loss. But we're looking into this right now.
How do you discover the potential role of endothelin in the follicle regression?
So originally we work on figuring out how specialized cells, the niche cells, the mesenchymal cells, control the stem cells during the regular hair growth cycle. And in this context, we found that the cells surrounding the hair follicle are in fact the smooth muscle. And so now the most natural thing was to ask how contraction is regulated of this muscle. And so in a screen of when we looked at the gene expression in the smooth muscle cells, we identified that of all the smooth muscle contraction pathways, only the endothelial receptors were highly expressed, and so that immediately pointed us to the potential role that endothelin signaling may play, and that's exactly what we found. So by using mouse genetics to knock out the receptor, or by using the small molecules to block the endothelin signaling pathway, we identified that the endothelin signaling pathway plays an important role in this context.
Do you think the discovery will help in finding a new treatment for hair loss?
The question is whether hair regression plays a role in hair loss. And so we don't know that there's many forms of hair loss, and one very prominent one is the androgenetic alopecia that we still do not understand. So during the hair growth, as the hair undergoes cycles, the hairs miniaturize, so they get smaller and smaller, and so they get stuck in the resting period or in the growth phase, but we do not know yet whether the regression phase also plays a role. So in that sense, we cannot say yet whether changing the contraction in the endothelin signaling pathway can beneficially affect hair loss. We do not know yet, but we're looking into this.